Hudson is in a taxi. He is stuck in traffic. It is pouring rain and he is on the phone telling his wife that he isn't going to make it to the beach house in time. Hudson tells her he will drive so he can make it to the beach house. His wife, Lacey, urges Hudson not to drive since it will be pouring rain. She says that it would be safer for him to go to the airport instead. Hudson replies by saying he will think about it and urges his wife to make sure the beach house is repaired. Last summer water kept leaking in and it was a disaster. The beach house owner, Henry, is talking to the engineer for repairs. The engineer tells Henry that the beach house is not safe. It needs a lot of repairs and it is not ready to be lived in. Henry dismisses this and says that the repairs are all cosmetics and it is not necessary. Henry decides not to pay the full price for repairs and decides to go for the cheap and time-saving alternative. The family is in their car excited to be heading to the beach house. Lacey talks to the owner of the beach house on the phone. She asks if the holes in the beach house have been fixed since last summer. Henry explains that the house has been patched up and is ready for when they arrive. He explains that the house no longer has holes and that everything is set for the family to enjoy their vacation. Lacey urges Henry to get the package she had shipped to the beach house, then she hangs up. Henry sees that the package is on the beach. The waves crash into the cardboard box and pull it into the ocean. Henry dashes towards it but the box is pulled deep into the ocean. Henry, in a desperate attempt to get the package, jumps into the ocean and swims behind it. The waves continue to carry the package away and Henry finds himself far from the shore. As he swims closer to the package he notices a shark fin in the distance. He is shocked by this revelation and starts shouting for help and swimming back. The shark fin disappears into the ocean. Henry looks around in fear not knowing where the shark might strike. Suddenly, the shark darts towards Henry's legs, biting them off. It drags Henry into the depths of the ocean. The ocean is red with blood as Henry sinks deeper. The family reaches the beach house and begin unpacking. While they unpack, a fancy sports car stops next to them. It's their neighbor Tad. Tad greets the family and asks if they will be staying in the beach house. Lacey says that they will be staying for a month. Tad then asks where her husband is. The grandfather, Noah, replies that Hudson is stuck in traffic and might be a little late. Their son, Tucker, excitedly asks Tad about his daughter Becky as she was his childhood friend. Tad replies that she is in town and might drop by. As the family is moving in, Noah begins to notice the state the house is in. He explains that if the house has broken fences and rusted metal bars, chances are it wasn't repaired properly. Lacey is saddened by Noah's disappointment but tells him to have fun since it is only a month. Noah and his granddaughter, Charlotte, sit down to watch some TV. But, as soon as they turn it on, it loses signal. Noah complains again so Lacey goes to the basement to see what is wrong with the cables. When she arrives she notices that pipes are leaking water and it is slowly beginning to overflow. Distressed by this, Lacey calls Henry to ask about the repairs but he does not respond. Tucker is standing by the shore gazing at the ocean. While he is gazing, his childhood friend, Becky, sneaks up from behind to surprise him. Tucker is happy to see her and Becky pulls Tucker to the ocean but he explains that it is going to storm soon. And that it would be a bad idea to swim. Becky teases him for being afraid of water. Tucker chuckles and takes off his shirt to join Becky on her swim. Lacey comes back from the basement drenched in water and asks her daughter Charlotte where Tucker is. Charlotte replies she doesn't know, then the wind pushes a chair down the balcony. The chair grabs Lacey's attention and she realizes Tucker is swimming with Becky. Lacey shouts at Tucker to come back but he doesn't hear her. Lacey asks Charlotte to bring Tucker back and goes off to change. Charlotte goes down to the shore and yells for him to come back. Tucker hears her but continues to swim with Becky. The package is washed into the shore along with Henry's bloodied body. Charlotte freaks out and starts shouting for Tucker to come back. Charlotte notices the shark and starts screaming. Tucker and Becky begin swimming back in fear. As they swim back to the shore, the shark begins to close the distance behind them. It lunges at Becky's legs and takes a bite out of it. Becky is swimming against the shark's pull and barely makes it back to shore. Tucker and Charlotte carry her back to the beach house. Becky is taken to the living room of the beach house. Everyone begins to care for Becky. Lacey dials for the hospital but there is no signal. Noah cares for her and Lacey calls the cops, but there is still no signal. It begins to storm heavily. The repairman parks outside the beach house and exits his car. Noah does not want Becky's wound to become infected. He pours alcohol over the wound. Becky is in immense pain and she is fading in and out of consciousness. Noah then begins to bandage her leg. The repairman reaches the house and rings the doorbell. He is let in and begins inspecting the house for damage. The family decides it is too unsafe and they hastily leave. Just as Lacey gets in to drive, a bolt of lightning hits a telephone pole, causing it to crash into the car. The car is totaled. The repairman works on leaks within the pipes and walls of the house. As he is working, the water becomes harder to seal up. Suddenly a wave of ocean water breaks a hole in the wall, pushing the repairman back. As the water seeps into the hole in the wall, a shark wriggles its way in. At first, the repairman is unaware of the shark and continues working. However, few seconds later, he sees its fin in the water, and begins to hide himself under his work table. A beach umbrella is hurled around because of the storm, scaring Lacey. The repairman realizes he does not have much time left as the water keeps pooling in. He gets out from under the table and begins to make his way to the stairs. As he makes his escape, the shark pushes its way past his wooden plank and begins to gnaw on his arm. The repairman is screaming in agony. The family realizes they have to go back home as the storm is too strong. The two siblings go down to check on the repairman in the basement. It is eerily quiet with no sign of any life. The kids make their way through the water to get the repairman's toolbox. As they are making their way through the water, the sister feels something passing by her legs and gets scared. She screams that there is something in the water and for both of them to get on top of the work tables. The sister grabs hold of a shovel, and sees a fin in the water. She thrusts the shovel forwards like a spear, slightly injuring the shark. Lacey makes her way to the basement because she hears the kids screaming. She realizes the severity of the situation as both of her kids are stuck on different ends of the room with a dead repairman and a shark lurking in the pooling waters. Noah slowly makes his way to the basement. Everyone is being quiet so that they don't alarm the shark. Noah mentions that he brought his fishing equipment earlier. He gets his fishing rod and puts a lure into the water. The shark is caught and is fighting against Noah. Charlotte makes her way to the staircase up while the shark is distracted. Her brother is having a hard time getting out because he is on the farther end of the room. The family begins to encourage him because he is afraid. As soon as Tucker gets the courage to swim back, the shark is freed from the hook. Tucker gets back onto the table fearing for his life. Noah attaches more bait to the hook. He throws the lure back in and the shark immediately goes for it. The brother swiftly makes his way back as the shark is fighting against the grandfather. They all make their way up to the ground floor. The family is safe, for now. Waves begin to crash into the beach house, and a large flood of water fills the basement. The water pools up the staircase, bringing the shark with it. The shark lunges and tries to break through the basement door. The family realizes this and quickly barricade the door. The storm gets worse and the door to the basement can't hold any longer. The barricade is pushed out of the way. Water floods the living room, and the family has no time to make it. They all try to climb on furniture. But Noah is struggling to get up on the furniture. The family grab whatever is close to them and take turns striking the shark whenever it gets close. This distracts the shark and Lacey makes her way up the stairs. Noah urges his grandson and his injured girlfriend Becky to get up while he distracts the shark. The grandfather strikes the shark with his cane and slowly makes his way to the staircase. Tucker and Becky make their way up the stairs thanks to Noah's distraction. The shark bites away the cane and Noah is helpless. The family tries to pull Noah up but the shark bites his legs. They are helpless as the shark pulls him down into the water. Lacey is hysterical, and begins to thrash at the shark with her lampshade. The family makes their way up to the top floor. They use the smartwatch to call for help, but there is no connection. The water begins pooling into the upper floor. They all make their way on top of the only mattress in the room. The water floods in and it seems like all hope is lost. The family open the window to make an escape and they notice two figures paddling towards them. It is Hudson, and their neighbor Tad. They are using surfing boards to paddle closer to the house. The family notices a small boat with a flashlight. Rescue crews are patrolling the waters. The shark is distracted by the men outside and makes its way out the house. Tucker takes this opportunity to open up the attic. The shark lunges at Tad, dragging him into the water. Tad was going to save his daughter and was killed because of the shark. Hudson takes the opportunity to get into the house through the window. He informs Becky that her father came here to save her, and because of his sacrifice he will make sure that she is safe. The rescue crew on the boat hears the family's screams and begins to make their way closer. The sister and brother make their way up the roof of the house. They signal to the rescue boat, but as they are coming towards them a huge wave flips their boat causing them to both fall from it. A flare is fired from a rescueman right before he is bitten by the shark. The family make their way up to the roof. At this point, the entire house is flooded and the storm is only getting worse. The son was part of his high school swim team. He tells his family that he can swim to the boat, it is their only way out. Tucker jumps into the ocean and begins making his way into the boat. The family screams to distract the shark. Tucker barely makes it into the boat. He finds a walkie-talkie and asks for help. The boat gets closer to the house and the family swims towards it. Hudson stays on top of the house and breaks the antenna off the roof. He makes sure the wires are still attached to it. The water begins to pool to the roof, and the shark takes this opportunity to lunge at Hudson. But Hudson sticks the antenna in its mouth. The shark can't get the antenna out of its mouth. Hudson turns the antenna on, causing the shark to get electrocuted, avenging everyone the sea creature has killed. The family rejoice and hug. They have all made it to the rescue boat. The movie ends when the helicopter that Tucker called earlier shines its light on them.